Hey, welcome to Phoenix Kitchen. Today we're going to learn how to season a molcajete. Alright, if you're not familiar with a molcajete, these are the traditional Mexican stone tools used as a version of a mortar and pestle. The molcajete is the bowl and the tejolete is the pestle, and it's used to grind certain foods to get a mixture that's flavorful and well ground. And it's just really fun to have that nice traditional piece when you're making Mexican food. So we're going to look at how to season it, because when you get this thing, it is not exactly ready to use yet. All right, so when you're ordering a molcajete, you want to get that traditional lava rock version. What you're looking at here, as I'm showing you, these things are going to be uneven. They're not going to be perfect. When you're looking at one and that rim is the same exact measurement all the way around and that bottom is perfectly smooth, what you're going to find is that was molded from concrete. Now, as you can see here on my fingers, this thing is dusty, right? So the very first thing we're going to do, we're going to rinse it out. We're going to wash out all of this dust. Then we're going to apply some grinded rice, followed by some kosher salt, and finished up with some cloves of garlic to leave a little flavor in there ready for our grinding. Now, this is not a precise measurement. We're not cooking. I'm going to put in a handful of rice. We want plain white dry rice, and we're going to take this and just start crushing it into our molcajete. What's going to happen is, as we grind this rice down, this rice flour is going to sink into all of the holes. If you're familiar with lava rock, it's a very porous rock. And when I rinsed this out, water would literally not stand in the bowl. The water would run all the way through and come out the other side. And obviously, as we're mixing our foods and grinding things for recipes, we want it to stay in the bowl. So what we're doing is sealing it up. As we grind this, we want to make sure we're getting everywhere, and we want to bring it all the way up to the very edge. So we're just going to grind and grind until we get this all filled up. We're going to be looking for all of the holes to be filled with little white pieces of rice flour. Now, this is a very good arm workout, by the way. Through the editing of the video, what you don't get to see is this entire three-step process takes about an hour, and the bulk of that is spent with that rice. Now, once we get to a certain point, I'm going to dump out that rice so I can see what's going on, see if I've missed a spot. I can add a little extra if I need to get any spots that have not been filled. You can already see the white speckled spots where it's going into the holes. We'll rinse the rest of that dust out before we move on to the next step, which is the salt. All right, a couple things to remember. Put a cutting board under it. Don't be the idiot I was. This thing is made from rock. It will move around and it will scratch a surface. So now I've got to fix my island countertop. But at any rate, you can see here where all of the holes have been filled in with the rice, and it's still there even after we've rinsed it. This thing will hold water now. So the reason we're going in with this kosher salt, we're just going to go ahead and dump in a tablespoon or so, and we're going to take our pestle, the tejolote, and we're just going to go all the way around, rubbing it consistently all the way up the sides, making sure we get everywhere. At this point, we're smoothing a few more rough edges off, making sure there's no little pieces of rock that want to break off and get into the food. It's not going to make it smooth like sanding it. You need a rough surface in order for this to grind. But we do want to take it down and make it a smoother surface. So that's what this is going to do. It's going to take out some of that dust, and we'll be able to rinse this out. Another thing that we want to do is make sure while we're doing the rice and the salt and the garlic that we get both ends of the tablesppon, because you may want to be able to grind with either end depending on what you're grinding. So you want to make sure that you get both of those seasoned as well as the bowl. All right, so the last thing that we're going to grind in to season this is going to be cloves of garlic. I'm going to go ahead and get 3 or 4 decent sized cloves cut up. I'll give them a little smash and take off the outer wrappings, so we have just the garlic clove. And then watch how smoothly and easily this nice seasoned molcajete grinds that garlic into a complete paste, gets all the oils and flavors out. And basically we're doing this to leave a little flavor in the molcajete for the things that you season. We want a starting point, and that garlic oil is a beautiful starting point. So we give it just a little smash with the flat of our blade. We'll get those out of the wrapper and into the bowl and then grind them up. Once we've done this, we're going to give it a final rinse, pat it dry. We don't want to leave any little threads or pieces of paper from a paper towel or a washcloth, whatever we're using to dry that out. And our molcajete is ready to use. All right, and one final thing to remember, I did say rinse. Every single time, the word rinse, never wash. We do not want to use soap in this. Think of it similar to a cast iron pan. We're simply going to rinse it out. If, for some strange reason, you decided that it needed to be washed, you can do that, but then you're going to want to re-season. Make sure that we're not leaving any of that soapy flavor in there. My suggestion would be never ever put soap in this. All right, and this thing turned out beautiful. You can obviously see a difference from the light gray when we started to the dark gray now, and that's because of the moisture. As it sets and dries, it will go back to the light gray. It is absolutely beautiful. You can see all of the little spots where we've filled in the holes. It is ready to go. Get you one and give it a try. It's absolutely amazing for cooking authentic Mexican food. We're giving away a 5-piece cast iron lodge cookware set when we hit 1,000 subscribers. All you have to do is like a video and subscribe to the channel to be entered in the giveaway.